first thing you need to do is be safe. Disconnect the appliance or turn off the breaker to avoid electric shock. Today we're going to be working on a Whirlpool model. The problem that we having with this washer is that it's getting off balance, stops on the middle of the cycle, and it starts banging on the sides. It rocks a lot, and this means the shocks needs to be replaced. The model number it's on the display, and we are gonna start by locate the three screws that needs to be removed in the back. I already have removed the three screws. Is one on the left, one on the right, and one that holds the this piece of cover. This cover it's on the back, and that releases the top panel. If you pull it towards you, lift up a little, and then push it back, it will release the top panel. You have to pull it out, lift a little, back. Sometimes it might get stuck. You just have to wiggle it until it comes off completely. After you get it to open up, just try to put the washer in a way that you can lean the top panel on the wall or whatever you're working on. As you see, I put a piece of electrical tape to be able to hold the lid because I don't want the lid to open on me, because if it opens, the top panel can fall on my arms while I'm working. You have to be very careful when you're going to replace these shocks, because these washer machines, especially these models, have sharp edges. And as you see, I got some vice grips, and to be able to lift one at a time and get the shocks loose. In this video, I'm gonna go ahead and do two at a time, but what is recommended is to do one at a time. You have to make sure you be careful. As I was saying, this washer has a lot of sharp edges. I recommend to use gloves when you do this repair. Just adjust your vice grips to be able to use it and lift the shock and remove the top piece. See, I'm doing it with my fingers, but I don't recommend to do that because, like I said, that piece is very, very sharp, and one time I cut my finger really bad doing this repair. I also going to teach you guys how to do it, how to remove that piece with a screwdriver. I'm gonna go ahead and do the two on the left. Also, you need to work with your space. In this case, I was able to tilt it to the side, and that works best for me. But sometimes I can only tilt it to the back or one side, and you have to work your way. I got the two brand new shocks ready, and as you see, when you get to this piece, you have to just wiggle it until it comes out, because it's a round piece of plastic that it might be keeping it in stock in his housing. So now I'm gonna go ahead and remove the one on the other side. And like I said, just wiggle it until it comes right out. Now grab your new one and put it in place. like so, and do the other one as well. Like I was saying, I always recommend to do this repair one at a time or two at a time, but not do all four at one time, because you can pull the wire or your pressure tube and you don't want that to happen. Now we're gonna go ahead and snap these two shocks on the left in place. Sometimes you're gonna be able to do it with your hand like I'm doing it here, but then you start touching the washer and then it's soap, and you get soap and or any or your hand must be sweating. So I recommend to use the vice grips. And just pay attention to the video, because this piece on the top got his own way. If you don't install it right, this can affect the performance on the shocks, and the tub can start banging against the frame on the washer. Now what I'm gonna do is replace the two on the right, but as you see, I'm working in a very tight spot. So if you can remove the washer, go ahead and turn off the water and disconnect it from the wall and put it out into your garage to work better, and then you can lean the washer. I never suggest to go ahead and lean it all away in the floor. Just tilt it to have some room to be able to remove the shocks. I repeat a lot that I recommend to use gloves, because this washer has a lot of sharp edges, so keep that in mind. Now I already got this two on the right loose, and then I'm gonna go ahead and tilt the washer back to be able to get to it. Now this is the way to remove this plastic piece with a screwdriver. Like I was telling you guys, I always recommend to use glove if you're going to remove it with your hand. But if you don't want to take any chances, just go ahead and do it with a screwdriver. The box brings all these pieces brand new anyways, so it don't matter if you break it or it gets loose or anything, or it gets lost. I'm sorry. And as you see, I need to work with my space, so I'm just tilting it back. To be able to get some space to remove the other two shocks. There's one. And now I'm gonna do the one in the back. As you see, I'm having a little hard time to remove it, but it comes out. Same way to put it back in place. Like so. And now we're gonna go ahead and put the top pieces in place. As you see, the vice grip needs to be adjusted because they always get loose after you do each shock. Put it in place, and this job is pretty much done. Make sure that tube is still in good condition. We remove the electrical tape from the lid. In the same way you got the top loose, the same way you're gonna secure it in place, or you're gonna put it back in place. Just make sure you wiggle it front and back until it snaps in place, and go ahead and install the 3 screws that you have removed earlier to be able to release the top panel. Just put the screws, the one on the right and the one on the left, and then the one that goes on the wire and pressure tube cover. Now just do some tests on it and make sure it's not rocking or anything. Also, always adjust the legs on this model. Thanks for watching. If this video helped you in any way, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for future videos. Thanks for watching.